Good afternoon, everybody. I guess I think AI is going to impact almost everywhere, to be honest with you. But I think the most important thing is how we first of all fix the data that we have and make some meaningful information to that thing. Only then we can talk about machine learning and then bringing AI. To make sure that we all understand, AI is a word loosely used, by the way. So we're actually into the machine learning, just to stack it up again, if we did not speak about it earlier, anybody spoke about it. You're talking about, first of all, deep learning, which is your neural networks in your brain, then you have machine learning, and then outer space is your AI. But before that happens, you need to make sure that you have data, which is segmented, then you have analytics on top of it, then you have something called data science, and then you'll be able to have it. Now, some of the applications that we see in UAE and globally as well, I'll give an application, for example, in healthcare industry. What they're trying to do, when it comes to endoscopy, colonoscopy, and imaging, they're relying a lot now on AI. So I was speaking to doctor and professionals, how we are using it. They said this has been a great assistant to us. Because we're very much pressurized sometimes, we're not able to spot everything. So the machine learning algorithm is able to tell us, this is a spot, please look at it. It could be benign, it could be carcinogenic, so they need to do it. So that's one application happening over there. Banking industries, unfortunately, still behind. I was in banking for 28 years, so luckily I was at Citibank. So we used to do a lot of predictive modeling, even when AI was not there, but we used to develop those models. Now with the advent of AIs, we're able to do those models even faster. So imagine we used to run queries, and it would take us roughly 3 to 4 hours. So we leave them at night and run them and come in the morning and see the impact of those queries to understand clients' behavior so we can offer the right services and products. So banking now is taking a lead, but not all the banks are doing that things, but those are still going on. I can continue talking. So I think
we'll let the others jump in as well.
Then you move to the next stage. What are your application use cases, scenarios that you really need an AI to be developed? So for us, the group, one of the things we're trying to do, we've got various verticals, now like trade businesses, we have smart mobilities, and various investments and circular economy that we work with the government as well. So one of the factories that we have, we take a lot of waste from food establishment and then we actually process them and byproduct comes out of that. So we work in Dubai itself, about 12,000 food establishments. Now, one of the things we're looking at, how do we come up with a model where we get to know where the waste is going to be generated, at what time, at what seasonal factor, and what is the amount of it. Because the faster we access the waste, the lesser the impact will be on CO2 emission and methane emission from that perspective. So that's the use case we thought will really be helpful. So we're doing the feasibility study on that as we speak. So the predictive model will actually give us the first feasibility study showing us the trends, how important it is that we put a predictive model that we can access the waste faster. But for that to happen, we had data for about 16 years. But if the data was not segmented, it would have been very difficult for us to do that feasibility study itself. So we're using that. But we're also clubbing the factory itself with another technology called digital twins. Anybody heard digital twins? Raise your hands. 1, 2, 3, very good, fantastic. Okay, very, very simply put, digital twin is that how you build your product and services in a virtual world to make it the most efficient before you bring it into reality. So in Dubai today, the entire city is built on digital twin. So you get to, so when we do next urban planning of expansion of the city, CO2 emission and so forth, we first develop it in the virtual world and then we bring it into the live world. So similarly, because AI is going to be kind of an intersection to the digital twin,